Ladies and gentlemen, how are you? It is good to be back for a Sunday night for you, but it's Monday here. I hope your football teams won. Who won? I can't remember. Ravens and no, the Ravens lost. The Bills won, advancing to the AFC Championship against Kansas City. And who was the other one? I can't remember. Who was on the NFC side? We watched it. It was the first game. Hold on. I can't even remember. No, that's not it. NFL. NFL. Who won in the NFL? Oh yes, it was the Washington Commanders beat the favorite Detroit Lions. Poor people in Detroit. Seemed like your year until all the injuries started piling up. As a 49ers fan, I can tell you I understand about injuries piling up. So it is the Rams and Eagles. So it'll be the Eagles and the Washington Commanders in the final. So I hope it's one of your teams that you like, and hope they get to the Super Bowl. Since my Niners can't this year, they're all broken as well. Good to see you all. Good to see you. Nice to be back. Although I am still a little under the weather. Yesterday I just woke up and I was really not well. I ended up sleeping all day. I didn't even wake up during daylight hours. I was just in bed all day trying to sleep off this illness, and it wasn't fun. Today I'm still a little tired. I wasn't going to do a show, and then I was like, if we don't do it today, and then that's 2 days if I do it tomorrow, and it just sounded like too big of a gap. So, it's good to see all of you, though. Good to see all of you. Hey, Kathy, good to see you. I haven't checked anything. I haven't checked any of my emails. I haven't checked any of my PMs. Nothing yet. Good to see you. I was still sleeping up until about 2 hours ago. I woke up and I was like, well, I better actually do some work today. Rachel, good to see you. Laurie, Wendy R, Marilyn Landis, Mamma Mia, Moonlight View. Who else is here? Let me check. Sean, hey Sean. Natasha made it. Gayla's here. Robbie T, Danny Mitchell. Did I miss anyone? I hope not. Mamma Mia, hey Mamma Mia. Marilyn Landis. Okay. All right. This one's pretty crazy. So I was supposed to do this last night, and we didn't end up doing a show. So I'm going to show it to you today. But this young girl found bludgeoned is the word they're using, bludgeoned to death in you know in a hold on, let me double check. I got getting two stories confused now. We got two that are very similar, and I was about to say this one was found in an abandoned home, but I actually think that's the second story we're about to talk about. Yeah. So it's I'm going to pronounce this wrong, even though I practiced it like 50 times before we came on. But it's Kanaya Baker, and her body was found in a home as fire crews responded to a fire. They say Columbia police said on Saturday that they have arrested two teenagers, in the gruesome death of a missing 13-year-old found dead in a vacant home on Wednesday night. Okay, I wasn't mixing up stories. According to the police chief, they described the killing as heinous, vicious, and monstrous. And according to the coroner, who provided details of how the teen died, they said the manner of death is not an accident, and this is not an S word. They said this is a horrible homicide. They also said, even when they were provided pictures of the victim while trying to identify Baker, those pictures didn't seem to match up. She said it took DNA evidence to prove the deceased was a missing child. They said she was bludgeoned, stabbed, and burned to death, adding that her cause of death was blunt force trauma. So this is out of the Richland County, South Carolina, or Columbia, South Carolina. So we've done a lot of stories out of South Carolina over the years. They seem to pop up in the true crime world quite frequently. They say on Wednesday, Columbia police were called to a vacant home on Cardamom Court, where Columbia Richland fire crews found Baker while responding to the reports of a fire. Police ruled the death suspicious and later confirmed that Baker's death was being investigated as a murder. Holbrook said police arrested a 16-year-old girl and a 15-year-old girl in connection with the case overnight Friday into Saturday. He said the 16-year-old was reported missing by her mum on January 12th and had a history of disorderly conduct, malicious injury, and other crimes. At the time, she was wanted by the Department of Juvenile Justice after allegedly cutting off her ankle monitor. Police said the 15-year-old was a frequent runaway who dropped out of high school. While neither girl was identified by name at the press conference, the solicitor's office said they intend to petition the family court to charge both of these teenagers as adults for the charge of murder. So they're planning on trying to bump this up to, a adult crime, instead of treating them like children. I'm going to play this little update, but I got a press conference we're going to look at too. Hold on.
Manner of death is not an accident, and this is not a suicide. This is a horrible homicide.
That was Richland coroner Nada Rutherford just a couple hours ago giving a shocking update on the heartbreaking murder of 13-year-old Kanaya Baker. Now tonight, Columbia police say 2 teenage girls are facing murder charges with potential to be prosecuted as adults in connection to Baker's death. News 19's Victoria Samuels shares what police said happened to this 13-year-old.
Brutal, heinous, vicious, gruesome, monster.
That is very strange. The video crapped out. I'm not sure why. That's okay. I have a different one for you. Don't worry about that one. I'll take you to the press conference. This is courtesy of News 19 WLTX. So let's go there instead.
Joined by our city manager, Ms. Teresa Wilson, City Councilman Ed McDowell, Councilman Tyler Bailey, Chief Aubrey Jenkins, Richland County Coroner Nada Rutherford, and our Fifth Circuit Solicitor Byron Gibson. Brutal, heinous, vicious, gruesome, monstrous, and disturbing. These are the words I use to describe this murder investigation. On Wednesday night at about 10:30 p.m., the Columbia Richland Fire Department responded to a reported structure fire at 114 Cardamom Court. That's in Capitol Heights neighborhood off of Farrer Road. That neighborhood consists of 102 residences, of which 30 are occupied. The location of the fire was in one of the 72 unoccupied units on the property. The fire department arrived to find smoke coming from inside the residence, and they made entry and soon located the deceased person on the floor inside. At that point, they contacted the police department, and of course, we responded to the scene. Upon our arrival, we determined that the deceased was a female, and she had suffered traumatic injuries to her face and body and had been severely burned. Ms. Rutherford will speak to the extent of the injuries and why I described this crime as heinous, vicious, and monstrous. The crime scene investigators worked with the Columbia Fire Department investigators as well as SLED arson investigators, and they spent hours inside the residence along with our crime scene investigators. For the rest of the night, it was over an 8-hour process to complete the investigation inside the house.
And you'll hear from the ME or coroner in a little bit, and she'll describe how difficult, like I read a little bit of it before, how difficult it was to ID her as a child. That's how damaged her body was. Her body was quite, in a rough shape, to the point where it took them time to identify this as not an adult, as actually a teenager. And you heard there, she was also burned. What possesses a 15-year-old and a 16-year-old to not only beat, torture and mutilate another child, but then to set the house on fire? I mean, it's like things you read about in a book or a movie. I can't believe that. It's something like they got off social media, or, some sort of fantasy novel. Hey, set the house on fire. They'll never find us. Well, no, they often find bodies inside of burnt out homes, and they are able to ID them and find evidence. And now, because your life experience is so little, you are now finding out these things after you decided to commit the heinous crime that you did. Sometimes these teenagers like to think they know everything, and then only find out they don't after they've done something. And unfortunately, in this particular case, it's a murder. Sometimes it's something very, innocent, and then they've realized that, yes, sometimes the adults do know more. And this one, unfortunately, a girl lost her life. Here, let me play a bit more.
Our officers documented the important trace evidence and blood evidence in the house. And of course, our fire subject matter experts worked to determine the origin and cause of the fire. The next day, investigators met with the Richland County Sheriff's Department. The reason we did this is there was no identification found on the body or any evidence inside the residence that would help us identify the victim. In our meeting with the Sheriff's Department, we learned that they had recently taken up an investigation of a missing juvenile. We learned that juvenile was similar in size and age to our victim, so we thought that there was a possibility that they could be connected. We worked with the Richland County Sheriff's Department's DNA lab and the coroner's office to ultimately determine that our victim was in fact their missing juvenile. And I'll invite the coroner to elaborate on that identification further in just a minute. We're very appreciative of the assistance that we received on the scene by our Columbia Fire Department, our SLED arson investigators, and the coroner's office. This has been a extremely difficult case to work. I've watched our investigators work literally nonstop since Wednesday, and I really mean nonstop, day and night. They have conducted themselves in just the utmost professional way in very difficult circumstances. Let me talk about our two suspects. Overnight, we've arrested two people. Our first suspect is a 16-year-old female. Her last known address was in Columbia. She was reported missing by her mom on January 12th. She has a history of disorderly conduct, malicious injury, throwing bodily fluids.
Did he just say throwing bodily fluids? What kind of, like, how do you get to be known for that? How is that something that the police know about you? Oh yeah, watch out for her. She's known for throwing bodily fluids at people. I'm concerned that you have such a reputation by police that it's not a once-off that you did this, that it is multiple times, that somehow you now have it listed on your permanent file with authorities. I think that is disturbing. Not only that, disorderly conduct and a bunch of other type of juvenile charges with this one 16-year-old. So sounds like she's had a bunch of problems before she committed this crime anyway.
She was wanted by the Department of Juvenile Justice for cutting off her ankle monitor around January 12th. She was last enrolled in a local high school in January of 2024, and she's currently listed as dropped out, and she is a frequent runaway. Our second suspect is a 15-year-old female. Her last known address is also in Columbia. She also was enrolled in a local high school as of last December. She is currently listed as dropped out, and she also is a frequent runaway. Our victim was originally from Sumter, South Carolina. She was most recently in foster care here in Columbia, Richland, and was reported missing on January 12th. She also has a history of running away. I'll ask the coroner now to give us some information on exactly.
Let me stop it there and take you to another article for a moment, and then we'll go back. There is this one I found from the state. They have a little bit more information. Yeah, so at first, the 16-year-old girl, the one who's, throwing bodily fluids and was wanted by the Department of Juvenile Justice for cutting off her ankle monitor. Wow. She was last enrolled at a local high school earlier this month, but was listed as having recently dropped out. She was reported missing by her mother January 12th and is a frequent runaway. They say Fifth Circuit Solicitor Byron Gibson said the two suspects had been charged with murder. When police found Baker's body, they could tell she had suffered traumatic injuries to her face and body and had been severely burned. Here, let me go further down. Okay. They're just saying here that, the community won't stand for this type of action, even from teenagers. And that's one of the reasons they want to, take these two teenagers and charge them as adults. They don't want to send a message that they are soft on people that commit these type of crimes, even if they're, slightly underage. So they're trying to take a hardline stance here. They said visual identification of the victim was not possible. Law enforcement ended up having to use DNA from clothing and dental records to identify her. Brutal. It says here, Baker had been reported missing on January 12th, was last seen Monday in Hopkins, about 15 miles from where her body was located. According to information released Thursday by the Richland County Sheriff's Department, originally from Sumter, she was in foster care in Columbia and had a history of running away as well. Sounds like she may have met up with some other children who may have been in a similar, well, not that similar, but, seem to have led disruptive teenage years as well. And, to be in foster care, a lot of questions have to be asked. Like, why was she out, at that time of night? Why, just why? A lot of why. I don't know why this photo is blue, but sure. It looks like an alien, but that is not a very respectful way of talking about a victim. Yeah, they're all blue. I don't know if it's just my monitor. I don't know if it looks blue to you guys, but like everyone I pull up is blue. Yeah, I'll show you. I don't know if it's the colors playing a trick on my monitor. There you go, look, it's blue. All right, let me take you back to, I want you guys to hear from the ME just briefly, and then we'll get out of the press conference.
Identifying a minor can be difficult. They don't have a DMV profile. They usually don't have fingerprints on file. And so we start with the basics. We look at missing teens, and Richland County Sheriff's Department contacted us with a possible description of a young girl who had gone missing. Unfortunately, the description that they were giving to us did not match what we had in front of us. And unfortunately, the description provided of Kanaya Baker was so different, in fact, that even the pictures that they sent of her just did not seem to match up. Due to severe trauma to her head, face, and body, visual identification just was not possible. And so we had to turn to science. We contacted Sheriff Leon Lott and asked him to please run DNA from dirty clothing found at the foster home that her foster mom brought to us. We used that clothing to extract DNA, and they were able to run that. We also simultaneously obtained dental records so that we could match the dentals from her last appointment. We were able to confirm that the young girl found in the burning house on Cardamom Court was that of missing teen Kaniyah Baker. The manner of death is not an accident, and this is not a suicide. This is a horrible homicide. Her cause of death is blunt force trauma. And I want to address some rumors that I've seen online and from several media outlets who have called she was not pregnant that we could visually see at autopsy. We're still waiting on slides, but at this time, we do not have a confirmation that she was pregnant at the time of her death. Kaniyah was bludgeoned, stabbed, and burned. We will continue to collaborate with law enforcement to bring justice to her and her family. And I just would like to say this. Dr. Bill Stevens and Ashley Gorganios, our child fatality director, along with the Columbia Police Department and the Richland County Sheriff's Department, we've been up for days working this case and trying to find answers for this family. No parent should have to bury a child. I'll answer questions after Chief is finished if you guys would.
All right, that's about it from the ME. She doesn't really talk again in this press conference, so I won't bring it back up. I hope to have more for you at a later date on court days or something like that. I don't have any current information about when they're due back in court. Hold on. No. I don't have a court day. I don't know why. They should be due for an initial hearing. Yeah. Okay, I'm not sure why, but they're not listing an initial appearance. Maybe because they're considered juveniles right now. But as of my information at this second, I don't have it. If I find out, I'll let you know. Yeah, because neither girl has been named, and they're still trying to petition the family court. So that's probably why we don't know, is because it's still in the family court. So until it moves to an adult court, probably won't hear much more about it, really. So we'll find out when they finally get that petition done. We will know more about these two young females who seem to have had their own troubles, but have taken it out on another teenager and left her stabbed, beaten, and then set on fire in a property. It's horrific, really is. Okay, I will bring you more on that when I have it. Hopefully, not that far away. Probably sometime this week. I would suggest there'll be an update. Okay. Let me take you to Utah. Do you want to go back to Utah? We have fun there. Sort of. It's true crime. Yeah. I'm going to show you this video and I'm going to read a bit more about it. This is a very strange case. I don't know if I've heard... Well, actually, I think I have heard something like this before. But yeah, just listen to it and then tell me what you think.
New information for you tonight about drive-by shooting that killed a 17-year-old girl near Cedar City. The Iron County Sheriff's Office says a vehicle pulled up next to her car and people inside fired. Tonight, 4 men are in custody. Christian Sita joins us live with the latest. Christian.
Yeah, good evening, Brian. Now, the suspects are in a jail like the one behind me, and the sheriff's office says that they have no motive at the moment, and they're calling it a senseless death. Now, Iron County Sheriff Ken Carpenter says dispatch received a call last night from a 17-year-old girl saying how she and her friend were being followed by this truck. The truck opened fire on them, hitting the 17-year-old girl driver in the head and shoulder. She later died at the hospital. The girl who called dispatch had a leg injury.
These two young ladies were 17-year-old female juveniles that were just out kind of joyriding around the valley. And the report that we received was that the vehicle pulled up behind them and began high beaming them, flashing their high beams on and off at them. It scared the two young ladies.
Now, both victims are in high school, and we still don't have their names. Now, according to the sheriff's office, the suspects and the girls didn't know each other.
Well, as far as my office, the deputies are, this was a needless death, and I think that it's hard on everybody. It's completely senseless for this to have taken place and to have happened, and that makes it hard. When you look at two 17-year-old girls that were just enjoying life and having a good time, and that their life was cut short.
All right, so let me explain it a bit more. It seems like there was some sort of stalking allegation, or at least that's what they're saying. They're saying the Iron County Sheriff's Office said 4 people have been taken into custody in connection to a shooting on Friday that led to the death of a 17-year-old. The county sheriff said around 10:42 p.m. at the intersection of Mid Valley Road and 4300 West, a person shot at 2 young women who were out for a drive. The driver later died from her injuries. They say tragically, despite efforts from first responders, the young driver succumbed to her injuries shortly after arrival to hospital. The passenger received a leg injury, but it's so far unclear how she sustained that injury. The passenger is the one who called 911. According to police, investigators with the sheriff's office were able to find evidence that the young women were being followed by a car before the shooting. They say preliminary investigations reveal the victim's vehicle was being pursued by an unknown assailant for several miles. They said during this pursuit, the assailant vehicle pulled alongside the victims and opened fire, striking the driver. Police said the 17-year-old also lost control of her car, crashing it through a vinyl fence off of the intersection where the shooting occurred. They said, our heartfelt condolences go out to the family and friends of the young woman who lost her life during this tragic act of violence. We would also like to express our gratitude to the Cedar City Police, the Enoch City Police, the Department of Public Safety, and a bunch of others. According to Carpenter, so far police have been able to recover a bullet casing and are working on enhancing dash cam footage. They say Mid Valley Road will be closed until a further investigation of the area is complete. Officers advise anyone who lives on or has a business on the Lund Highway or Mid Valley Road to check their surveillance cameras for footage related to the incident. Those with information can call 435-867-7500, or they can call the non-emergency number at 835-586-9445. They say the sheriff's office is actively investigating the incident and seeking public assistance. They say between 10:15 p.m. and 11 p.m., we urge anyone who may have witnessed a small red pickup truck being closely followed by a dark-colored truck or SUV on Lund Highway between 1600 North and Mid Valley Road, or heading west on Mid Valley Road towards the Three Peaks campground area, to come forward. The identity of the 17-year-old girl has not been released by authorities. However, Iron County School District released a statement saying she was one of their former students. On Tuesday, when students return to school, additional counselors and therapists will be available at 2 different high schools in the area. They will be available throughout the day to give support and comfort to students and staff struggling with the distressing news. So far they haven't released the name of the 2 girls in the truck or why someone was following them down the road. It's a little odd. Like, why would you follow 2 girls in a truck and just start shooting at them. It is a little strange. Here, I'll take you to KSL News. They got a little update on it too. It's not very long, but here.
We begin this hour with a tragic developing story out of southern Utah.
A teen driver shot and killed near Cedar City after deputies say she was chased by another car. According to the Iron County Sheriff's Office, 3 people are now under arrest, and the search for a 4th is underway. The 17-year-old girl, who has not been identified, was shot and killed on a stretch of the road northwest of the city just before 11 o'clock last night.
According to investigators, the victim was out for a drive with another teen girl when they were followed for several miles by a suspect vehicle, which ultimately pulled alongside their truck and opened fire. The teen driver was struck, lost control, and crashed through a fence. She was rushed to the hospital but died of her injuries. The other girl survived. Investigators have not said if she was hit by gunfire. Again, at this time, 3 people in custody and investigators closing in on a 4th.
And we're currently serving a search warrant on an apartment and on a vehicle, but we are confident that we have our suspects in custody at this time.
So tragic. Now, investigators have not yet given any details about a possible motive for the shooting or why the teens were followed. We have crews on the scene there now. We'll get you those updates as soon as we learn more.
Yeah, and if I take you here, it says 4 men arrested Saturday after 2 of the men said they followed a vehicle they thought was stalking them, shooting at and killing the 17-year-old girl who was driving the vehicle on Friday night, according to investigators. So their names are Michael Edward Hest Witaki, 23, Ethan Andrew Galloway, 23, Aldrich S. Felipe, 21, and Matthew D. Sorba Petrie, 22. Each were arrested in connection with the shooting. They say Ken Carpenter, who is the sheriff, said all 4 suspects have confessed to knowing what happened and trying to conceal evidence of what happened. They say Hess and Galloway were each arrested for investigation of murder and 12 counts of discharge of a firearm resulting in serious injury, obstruction of justice, possession of a controlled substance, and possession of a dangerous weapon by a restricted person. Felipe and Sorba Petrie were arrested for investigation of obstruction of justice, possession of a controlled substance, and being a restricted person in the transaction of a firearm. Carpenter said the 17-year-old girl and her 18-year-old friend were in a red truck driving along a stretch of a road northwest of Cedar City to attend a bonfire, and were followed by a black pickup truck. About 10:42 p.m., he said the second vehicle pulled alongside the teens and started firing. 12 shots were fired from the vehicle, according to police. After the shooting, the vehicle fled the scene. The shot struck the driver, causing her to lose control. The sheriff's office said in a news release, the truck swerved off the road, crashed through that white fence you saw in the video, and came to rest about 100 feet northwest of the intersection of Mid-Valley Road and 4300 West. The passengers sustained a leg injury caused by shrapnel. They said life-saving measures were administered to the teen driver, but she died of multiple gunshot wounds at the scene. Her identity has not been released at this time. They say Hess Witaki was identified as the registered owner of the vehicle that pursued the victims to a remote location where Galloway discharged the 12 rounds from the firearm. While deputies searched the area where the 2 girls who survived the incident said the other vehicle first confronted them, the deputies found a vehicle that matched its description. They said deputies received search warrants for the suspect's vehicle and home. Before executing the search warrants, deputies detained 3 of the men in front of a home as they attempted to leave the premises. So that was Hess Witaki, Galloway, and Sorba Petrie. They tried to leave a property just before a search warrant. They say during the execution of the search warrant, several firearms and ammunition matching the caliber used in the homicide were located, and similar to the shell casing recovered at the crime scene. Additionally, controlled substances and drug paraphernalia were recovered in the suspect's residence. Narcotics including mushroom vapes, marijuana vapes, and an assortment of pipes used to smoke marijuana were identified and recovered. Police said in a post-Miranda interview they admitted to participating in the homicide. Why? Carpenter said the suspects had moved to Utah from California approximately 1 year ago, and that law enforcement... What? He told KSL-TV the suspects said that in California, law enforcement wouldn't do anything about it and decided to take matters into their own hands. What? I don't even know what that means. They say both suspects admitted that their actions had resulted in serious bodily injury and death of the victim. Their justification for chasing the victim's vehicle was they believed they had previously observed the victim's vehicle in their neighborhood and presumed the occupants of the vehicle were stalking them. I don't know what stalking is, but maybe they mean stalking. Investigators learned that the girls and the men were in the same townhome complex for unrelated reasons. Carpenter said the girl had lived in the suspect's neighborhood previously and she was driving through. Carpenter said there was no connection between the victims, the suspects, or the stalking allegations. At the conclusion of the interview, Ethan wrote a letter of apology to the parents of the victim, describing the reasons why he chased the victim's vehicle and shot at the victim driver. What? Like you're a 14-year-old kid and you're going to write an apology letter to the victims of parents who just lost their teen girl? I don't think that's going to make them feel any better. I don't think they're going to care about your letter. And I don't think it provides any insight into why their daughter had to be shot and killed while driving a vehicle. I don't think that does anything for anyone, except for maybe yourself. I think it might make you feel better, but it doesn't do anything for anyone else. It's very self-serving. Yeah. Mushroom vapes. Yeah, I don't know what a mushroom vape is. Is that something that Erin Patterson invented? Did she invent mushroom vapes? Maybe it's like a self removal from this earth device, made by Erin. Kathy says, do you know how many times I drove by guys' houses when I was a teen? Probably many, since 50% of the population are men. So like every second house you probably drive by has a man inside of it. So, yeah, I'm guessing they had some sort of drug-induced paranoia, and that was what was driving their actions, probably. Like, oh my God, 2 teen girls, they are a threat to our lives. Let's go and shoot them. I mean, ridiculous. They probably thought, oh my God, it's some gang that we upset. They're gang members, they're gang stalking us. Let's go out there and defend our lives from these, gang members who are driving down our road. Little do they know, these are not gang members. These are teenage girls who are probably not a part of any gang, except for a bonfire gang, which is where they were where they were heading to. So, Michael Edward Hess Wataki. All right, let's look up him. Can we get a photo of Mr. Wataki? Oh, here's a photo of him. Not a good photo, but it's a photo. There's a photo from Channel 2 now of them being arrested, I'm guessing. Oh, there are some photos. There are some photos from Channel 2 News. Okay. Not the greatest photo. It's a little pixelated, but there's the, I'm guessing is the victim. So. Moonlight View says, looks like a mobile party bus loaded with weapons and vapes. And narcotic vapes. Thavi says California says it all. Kathy Lynch says, I mean, we gals would drive by boys' houses and honk the horn, and they did the same in return. You guys had a very, very wholesome upbringing, Kathy. It's very cute. It's like something out of a novel. Wendy R says Cedar City population is only about 26,000 people. It's not very big. Yeah, it sounds like it's not a huge town at all. All right. Let me see if I can find more of these photos from Channel 2 News. What's her name? Her name is, so they have named her. Her name is Kaylee Dutton. Oh my God. Hold on, guys. Rory, get down. Hold on. All right, sorry about that. Rory is very naughty. Her name is Kaylee Dutton is her last name. And now I've lost my my screen. Oh, here. Kaylee Dutton. Okay. Let me try find her. All right.
Four men whom authorities believe were involved in the shooting death of a 17-year-old girl the night before were taken into custody on Saturday afternoon. Iron County Sheriff Ken Carpenter briefed reporters at the townhome complex where 3 of the men were arrested.
We just served a search warrant on a apartment here behind us where we've taken 3 fellows into custody and are about to make a 4th arrest, we believe. We still need to process the apartment and the vehicle and conduct our interviews, but we feel pretty good that we have our suspects in custody. The vehicle was chasing.
All right, that's like the quietest audio ever. I'm not going to continue playing that. It says here that they were named on social media and crowdfunding sites down here. Where is it? Okay, it did quote it as in here. Maybe I'm going crazy now. I saw a quote saying that their identities had been found out through social media and crowdfunding sites, but now it doesn't appear to have that. But her name, yeah, Kaylee Dutton is her name. That photo before was her. Yeah, I don't know where that quote went. I don't know. It was there when I was researching it. They may have pulled it, but this is apparently her, Kaylee Dutton. So she was 17 years old. Not too young to die in a random shooting on the side of a road. Pretty awful. All right, 17-year-old girl. I'm just trying to see if I can find that quote for you. Or another photo. There's another photo. Channel 2 News Now. All right, thanks Channel 2 News Now. There's another photo of her. So they're naming her. They say victim killed in Cedar City drive-by shooting identified as 17-year-old Kaylee Joan Dutton. They say initial investigations indicate that Hunter's vehicle was being pursued by an unidentified assailant for several miles. But yeah, pretty girl. They're saying here, life-saving efforts. Yep, we know that. Asking for anyone with CCTV to contact them. But yeah, there you go. Just another photo of her. I'm guessing they lived, at least 3 of them lived in the same property because they were all found at that residence. They all tried to leave when they realized, why is there a bunch of dark cars with a lot of antennas and very dark window tint just all parked in the street? Like, we never have that here. So they all decided to, maybe we should walk down the block and just watch our property for a bit until these cars go away. and as soon as they went outside, the cops grabbed them. So I am guessing they either all live there or all hang around the same address. Mushroom dry. Yeah, that's right. Ask Aaron Patterson about it. Cedar City. Yep, not that big. Yeah, it's pretty awful. I can't imagine getting that phone call as her family, right? Oh, here. However, multiple posts on social media and crowdfunding sites identified her name. Apparently, there is a GoFundMe. I don't know if it's still up. It is. Here. They say donate to help with tragic unexpected loss. They've raised about $11,190. And they say, we are hoping to raise funds with the financial burden the families involved may encounter after this tragic unexpected loss. More details to come. As of now, we cannot share much information. I heard originally this did name her, but I guess police maybe have told them not to have the name in the title or something, but originally it did. But you can see there that is the same girl here. I wish I could blur the little kids. I'm sorry I can't do it on a live web page. I'm sorry I can't do that. Normally we don't show juveniles at all, like little kids. But that is her, and it looks like a very happy family, unfortunately, at happier times. Thavi says, I don't have an issue if you want to move from California, but move and change, don't bring it with you. Isn't Utah going through some sort of weird influx of Californians that are moving to Utah? Because California is so expensive, so a lot of people have sold up in California and moved to like Midwest states. I think Utah, kind of like Kansas, a few others, they're getting like an influx of Californians who have sold up expensive properties and moved into Idaho too. So they've moved there because the house prices are a lot cheaper. But apparently a lot of the locals don't like it because now, like, a lot of their like voting or voting for local council or the sheriff and things like that, they're bringing Californian ideals to those particular towns, and some residents don't feel like their original voices and town vibe are being heard, and they're being drowned out by these new people from California. To Tennessee as well. Wendy R says influx like hell fleeing CA, and they buy a big asset house in Utah. Yeah, I have heard this before. Boise area has become little LA for crime. Real estate agents are ecstatic. Yeah, they record year. They're stoked about it. They're the only ones. No one else. But yeah, I had read about that these like local residents who had lived there for generations are very mad because they're saying a lot of the local families are being priced out of the homeowners market because these people that come from California will pay more for the houses. So the property market's gone through the roof. So like a lot of people who rent or wanted to buy a property can't. This is what I'd read at some point. You can spread them apart. Go ahead, Roger. Go ahead. Do what you feels good for you. Wendy R says build a wall around California. Hotel California, you can never leave. That's right. Jojo says Arizona, they can't drive off. They flip off everyone. You can't do that here. All right. You can't do that there, according to Jojo. Four Sons Mom says, plus the cost of housing is, yeah, there you go. I just mentioned that too. So it's got nothing to do with this particular case, but, well, sort of. Those people are expats from, well, ex-Californians, and they are in that region for what reason? I don't know. Probably to bring their vapes with them. Probably to bring all their narcotic vapes. There you go. There's some nice photos. I wish that was a better, cleaner photo. That's all right. All right, let's see. Wendy R says, heck, I'm married to a displaced Californian. Don't say that out loud. The Utarians will have it out for you. Kathy says, I have a good friend that is a realtor. She said the influx has slowed down. That's good. You know, you never want a medical condition to ramp up. You always want the influx to slow down. All right, here, let me just look up her name. Kaylee Dutton. Just want to see where that photo came from. Okay. Yeah, I don't see anything that would be useful. Four Sons Mom says, we can't afford to live in our own state. Sorry, this is a nerve I have. Yeah, I have heard this before. Thavi said, I'm married to one too, but he moved to Idaho when he was 7. Does that count? There you go. Angry Idahoans. Do they just call you... What is the short name for... Like, what is the name for Idaho people? Like, they don't call you potato people. That'd be a weird name. What do they call you? Idahoans? I don't know. Thavi says they moved to have guns because they can't in Cali. Interesting. Not heard that one. I heard the housing is Idahoans. Definitely Hoans. A lot of Hoans going on. Idahoans. All right. Gotcha. All right. We're done with that. I'll let you know if we get more updates on that. I have no idea about court. I haven't seen any court listings for these two. These 4. I think that investigation is still ongoing. They're looking for that dash cam footage. That's what they want. I'm just checking this one here. No, sorry. Yeah, they're still investigating. So I don't know when these guys are expected to appear before a magistrate, but yeah, no update on that one. If I get it, I'll tell you. All right, let's go to our other story. Yeah, potato people. That's it. That's what we get. That's what they call you. They're like the people that have the potatoes. Them, the Idahoans. All right, let's go up here. Nope, that's not what we want. We don't want the Ravens either. Sorry, I have far too many links open apparently. I was looking for our other story. I seem to have lost it for some reason. Nope, we did that. All right. So this one comes to me courtesy of Diane she showed me on Twitter. From Channel 2 Now Again. Why are these guys everywhere? Who are they? Why are you posting things all the time? They say, justice for Raina Dunlap. Who killed her? They're saying they don't know why or why she would end up deceased. Here's a nice photo of her. That's a pretty young woman. They're saying the family of Raina is seeking answers after she was found deceased in an abandoned home in Cleveland. That's why I got the two stories confused. I thought one was in an abandoned home and one wasn't, but apparently they were both in abandoned buildings. So yeah, found in an abandoned home in Cleveland, Ohio. Her mother, Karen, is pleading for information, stating that her daughter did not have a known history of drug use and was originally from Maryland. According to Walker, she has no information on where her daughter had been staying in the months of November and December, nor any understanding of why she was in Cleveland at the time of her death. They say Dunlap's personal belongings, including her phone, wallet, and ID, were missing from the crime scene, leaving her family desperate for answers. In an emotional appeal, Walker expressed her heartbreak and urged the public for assistance. She says, "My daughter was found alone with no phone or personal items. I have no idea why she was in Cleveland or where she had been staying. Please, if anyone has any information, I need your help. Carmen L. Golden Walker, a family member, also called for support, requesting prayers and assistance in sharing Dunlap's story. She says, "My heart is broken. I'm asking all my prayer warriors to uplift our family with hope, peace, and strength as my sister-in-law searches for answers about the unexpected loss of her daughter, my niece, Raina Dunlap." She said she was full of life and had much ahead of her. We are seeking any information that could help us understand what happened. According to this paper, Dunlap was a native of Washington, D.C./Maryland area and was found without ID or any means of communication, further deepening the mystery surrounding her death. So it means no mobile phone, no handbag, no purse or anything. It's very strange for a woman not to have a handbag and a purse or ID, something. It's a bit weird. They say her family is asking anyone with information or connections in the Cleveland area to come forward and help shed light on the circumstances that led to this tragic discovery. They say anyone with information related to Raina's whereabouts prior to her passing or any details regarding the discovery of her body is urged to contact local authorities or reach out to the family directly. They said if you know anything and want to be an anonymous caller, call 252-7463. That's it. Like, I tried searching for a bit more information on Raina, and this is about the only article of anyone covering it. It's very odd. Donate to help. Seems to be a couple of GoFundMes floating about, and I don't know why there's two. Oh, there's only one. Okay. So her family is asking for donations. There's a photo of Raina here. And they're saying to help raise funds for her sister. That might be the person they interviewed. They say Raina Dunlap's funeral and expenses as well, to hire a private investigator to investigate her death. I find it interesting that if she was found deceased and the cops think it's suspicious in any way, how come they're not doing a death investigation? I find that a bit strange. Normally, if there was any suspicious, they thought it was like a homicide or something like that, they would have opened a death investigation. But there's nothing like that. I can't even find a police briefing about it. Like, a police blotter saying, they found a body and wherever. Can't see anything like that. Yeah, very strange. Found deceased in Cleveland, Ohio yesterday. So that's not that long ago. Yeah, there's like no news articles at all. Sorry guys, that's literally it. There's no... Apparently she was found, deceased in an abandoned house, and that's all the information they have. Yeah, let me see what this says here. They say Karen Raina? Okay, Karen Raina? Her first name's Karen. Her middle name is Raina, and her last name is Dunlap. Apparently she was popular on Twitter and known as the Nude Queen. Okay, I can't verify any of this. There's someone posting on Instagram saying she went by a handle called the Nude Queen. I don't know if there's someone being stupid or... No, apparently that is true. Holy crap, I just looked it up. Looks like the last update was a while ago, though. Oh no, January 1. So, not a lot on here, though. Like, not a lot of... Just a lot of, like, memes and, like little like gifs or whatever. Not really anything. Everything. So she posted up until January 1st on her Instagram under the handle The Nude Queen. Yeah. Last post was January 1, New Year's Day. And it says, "He shows me in my dreams what he did to you." I don't know what that means. There's a lot of people posting under it. Yeah. A lot of people just saying rest in peace and stuff under her photo. I don't know what any of that means, but maybe you guys do. They're saying it's been reported that she was from Maryland but went to Cleveland to attend the Zeus Network show, Baddies Party and Filming, whatever that is. They say her family wants anyone to come forward with any information they may have. Some people knows that she's a adult worker and she was open about things. She was found with no phone, no wallet, no ID, and left to freeze. Odd. Drug overdose, and they dumped her in the cold, and she died from like thermal. What is these? What is the Zeus Network show? Baddies. What is this? What is Zeus Networks? What is this? Let's have a look. Oh, it's a show on like. Oh, okay, I get it. It's like a what's the VH1, like that type of thing. I get it. So here, there was a thing called Baddies East, and they were saying that she was over there to go to the filming of this particular show from the Zeus Network. So I don't know what that is, but why she was found in a abandoned building, but odd. Some people say that she was a known, adult worker, and that, yeah. I'd say nudes as in the no clothes is what I'm guessing, judging by that apparently she was an adult worker and that she may have sold photos to people. I'm just having a quick look. I can't show certain things, so that's why you guys might be like, "Ping, just show us," but I can't. Not that there's any nudity as such, just I don't want to get pinged by YouTube. Let me just double check this. Yeah, a lot of people posting on her Twitter. What does it say here? She says, Queen Q of N, only Snapchat. Her Snapchat is Queen Means Raina. She says, black, blunt, silly, and encouraging people to be free spirits, parody of myself, body positive, 18 plus, there you go. And she has an Instagram too called Raina is the Queen is her Instagram. What is on her Instagram? No, okay. A lot of boobs, a lot of chest photos. I don't know if I can show this without getting into trouble. I could probably show you some of them, but not very many, okay? I can show you this. I can't go down any further. But if you see this photo here up in the top left here, there's more further down that are not worse, just more. Just more is the word I'm going to use. So we'll cover our eyes. Yeah, I don't care how she lived either. We're on this channel. I think I've shown it enough times that I'm very, very open about, sex workers and things like that. I've never been one to be like, damn those whores or whatever. That's not how I work. Not even a little bit. I've spent most of my career on YouTube fighting for them to be seen by law enforcement, and other people, so it doesn't bother me. I just don't know how much I can show without getting into trouble, because YouTube has pretty strict rules on nudity and stuff like that. But it does seem like yeah, definitely some, like, I've seen these type of profiles before. Sometimes they're used to just attract men. Sometimes they're used to sell photos. So I don't know exactly what's going on, but they definitely look like OF type, you know, sort of things. Like, hey, here's a sneak peek. If you want the uncensored ones, come to my OnlyFans for, $15 a month or whatever. That's sort of what it seems like, but definitely seems like she met up with someone bad in Cleveland. Someone either who didn't have her best interests at heart and dumped her in that property, or worse than that. Yeah, I hope so too. I hope so too. Yeah, I don't think I can. Yeah, I can't drag that down any lower. That's a nice photo of her. This one in the middle. I can't open it. I'm not logged in. So, yeah. Sorry, I'm just going to have to switch this for a sec. Sorry, we'll go to Blue Girl for a second. And then I'll go back here. Let me just scroll through this and see if I can find anything else. Yeah, there is definitely some. Yeah. Not OF exactly, but just more racier type photos. Don't know if that's what it is, but there are some suggestions she is a adult worker. Yeah. Her social medias, yeah, do have some of those type of photos, but sometimes they're not for that. Sometimes they are. Jodo said, was her phone found? No. They don't have a mobile for her, and she had no ID, no handbag, no anything like that, which would be very odd for a woman like this. I can't imagine a young woman like this, walking around without a handbag or ID or a phone. Definitely a phone. Hold on. Yeah, she definitely has some explicit content on her Facebook and Instagram and things like that. Definitely some innuendo-y stuff. Maybe something happened at the filming? Maybe. Yeah, that would be an interesting point. If she booked a hotel room for this particular shoot on the show, because you would think it would take a day or so to do the filming, and you would have to come back and forward probably to the taping. So often these things take multiple days. So that would be interesting to know. There's that show again. I've never heard of it. If you've watched it, let me know what it is. I'm guessing it's about a bunch of women, sort of like one of those shows where they sort of all drama and fight each other for some reason. I'm guessing that's what it is. I do see a lot of punch-ons, and they're friends 1 minute and the next minute they beat each other up and call each other hoes and stuff like that. It would, yeah. Yeah, Violet, right? Violet. That photo does look like that. That's all I have on her. If any of her family want to reach out to me, I have sent them a message, but I haven't heard anything back. But if anyone from Karen Rena Dunlap or like surrounding her family want to reach out and talk more about her on the show, they can reach out to me on my Twitter, which is Nights with Ping. They can reach out to me on Facebook, which is Nights with Ping, or they can email me sundaywithping@gmail.com. So I will change the title in case they see it, and we can talk more about her at a later time. Yeah, that'd be no muffin. Come on, Baba. Hey, hold on, guys. All right. Yeah, I can't say I know the show either. It's not my type of viewing, but hey. Oh my god. Oh, okay. Glad I wasn't sharing that. I was searching for the handle of that woman, and I clicked images. So I was like, oh, maybe we could find more images of her. There is a lot of hairless cat if you click images. So if you go end up searching those tag names that I just told you about for her accounts, be very careful when you click images. That was oof, very in your face. Gayla says it's not hers, it's just other ones. Gayla says maybe I'm wrong. The first name that came to me. Yeah, I don't know. Rachel said it makes me sad that police aren't reaching out for info. If she was only found a day ago. Hold on, let me check what my thing says here. Yeah, 16 hours ago. So about like 36 hours ago she was found. That's not that long. There could be a police investigation still ongoing. I just don't. I can't find anything. I can't see a blotter or anything like that. Yeah, so be careful if you go doing your own sleuthing. That was a lot of hairless cat. Hold on. Arena. What was her real name? Her real name is Karen. Karen. All right, Karen. Karen. Yeah, I can't see anything much more. Like I can find her auntie's page. Her auntie is Karen Walker. She's from Cape Coral in Florida. But she says she was found abandoned in a home. Oh, this is her mum. Sorry, I thought this was the auntie. No, this is her mum. Oh, here, I can show you this.
You guys, hi everyone. So this is a TikTok call to action, TikTok call to help, whatever. I really need you guys' help. I think something really bad happened to my sister. Her name is Raina. She has a big following on Twitter. She has about 87,000 followers on Twitter, under the NUDE Queen. And I'm just looking for anybody that has been in contact with her or that has heard from her in the past month. It's very, very important. Because something bad has happened to her, and we're trying to figure out what happened. If anybody knows anything, please message me and let me know. I'm really counting on you guys. I know that this app is gonna get deleted tomorrow, but please, if anybody has any information, can let me know, please. I would really appreciate it. Please just message me on here.
Yeah, her sister sounds very distraught, as you would be at finding out about that. I think she was a bit stressed that TikTok was going to go down. So TikTok is back. It only lasted, about 12, 14 hours, and now it's back online. It seemed like a bit of a publicity stunt to only close for 12 hours. It seemed like it was just for drama. It didn't seem like there were people on Twitter selling recordings of their of them screen recording of them scrolling through TikTok for Americans who couldn't get on TikTok. They were charging like $30 or for half an hour. It was insane. I can't believe people would pay for that. Although some people pay for this stupid show, so there you go. Wendy R says, terrible to not just have a clue what happened to her. Yeah, there's something wrong. There's something wrong here. I would need to speak to the family and find out more. I will try and reach out to them, but no guarantee they talk to me. A lot of times they don't. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. But I will try and reach out to Karen Walker, who is her mum, but no guarantees that she'll give me any information or anything like that. Yeah, I don't know what else to tell you except for, yes, obviously she was some sort of adult worker. I don't know of what type. I don't know if she was just selling photos online or a cam girl or something like that. I don't know. It doesn't really say on her. Did she really have 80,000? Yeah, how many followers does she have? Yeah, she has 81,000 and 81,700 followers on Twitter. That is a hell of a following, but she doesn't really post much. Please just admit you're pathetic to yourselves and shut down. Sure, I don't know what this is. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm just so far out of the game. I don't know what this is, but I don't know what type of adult work what this is. I'm not sure. Probably something I don't know about. Probably something like, those dominant submissive things or something. Because it seems like she's got some aggressive posting on here. All right. Give me 1 sec. I just want to flip over my channel. Give me 1 sec. There we go. All right. I think we had one more. If I can find it. We have far too many links open. What time is it? Okay, it's 5. Okay. All right, one more. I have about a officer being shot. If I can find Forrest. Nope. It's not that one. It's not this one. It's not that one. That's Raina. Dun, dun, dun. Why is it not coming up? Give me 1 second, everyone. I'll find it. Not that one. It's not the baddies. It's not the hairless cat. It's not this one. It's not that young 17-year-old girl. It's not the LA Rams. It's not Tim Allen. It's not Linus Media. Where is it? It's not Peter Sutcliffe. I don't know. That's very strange. All right, give me 1 second. I'll find it. I will find it. We had it loaded up before we came on here. Aha, here. Yep. All right. Let's go to WSTV if that one loads. Nope, that one doesn't load. That's fine. Let's go to Yahoo. Good way of getting around the geo block. They say deputies searching for man suspected in hit and run and stabbing of an off-duty Georgia police officer. Here's a photo of the guy they're looking for. I know it's a little small. I'll try and get a larger photo for you. But there's the white vehicle and there's a side profile and a front-on profile that looks like a license photo. They say the Rockdale County Sheriff's Office is looking for a man suspected of being involved in a hit-and-run crash and then stabbing the driver of a truck he hit. Deputies say at approximately 6 p.m. on Saturday, a Dodge Charger hit a Chevy Silverado on Interstate 20 eastbound near Panola Road in DeKalb County and then left the scene. The driver of the truck, an off-duty police officer from the Metro Atlanta area, then followed the Dodge into Rockdale County near Salem Road to get the license plate information. After the Dodge pulled into a parking lot, the two drivers argued. Deputies say that argument escalated into Justin Perry Hurst hitting the victim and then stabbing the victim multiple times. Okay, Justin Perry Hurst. Let me just load that. The off-duty officer was taken to a nearby hospital for medical treatment. Deputies have not said how badly the officer was injured. Hurst drove away from the scene, the stabbing, and authorities are trying to locate him. He has ties to the Alpharetta area and is considered armed and dangerous. Aside from the Dodge Charger, his last known vehicle is a white 2019 Volkswagen Passat with Georgia tag CWC 3082. If you come in contact with him, contact the Rockdale County Sheriff's Office at 770-278-8000. So let me grab a better... Yeah, here, I'll take you here to Fox 5 Atlanta.
Duty Atlanta police officer has been released from the hospital after being stabbed multiple times last night. With that officer now home, police are intensifying the search for the person who police say wounded him. This is 37-year-old Justin Perry Hurst, and this is a picture of the car they say he may be driving, a white Volkswagen Passat. This all started just after 6 p.m. last night on Interstate 20 with a hit and run in DeKalb County. Investigators say the off-duty police officer followed the victim into Rockdale County near Salem Road. Police say when Hurst finally stopped, the two drivers got into an argument, and that's when Hurst stabbed the victim multiple times. The victim was rushed to the hospital for treatment and has now been released from the hospital. Hurst was last seen in that Volkswagen Passat with Georgia tag CWC 3082. Police say he has ties to the Alpharetta area and is considered armed and dangerous.
So there you go. If you're in Georgia or the surrounding area and you see this guy, call it into that number and get him off the street, willing to stab a police officer after he did something wrong, not the guy you want out there on the street. Barbie says 9:30 p.m. last night it did. Yeah, there was went down last night. Kathy Lynch says, I've been to Alpharetta. That's where the doll store is. I can't think. American Doll, maybe? Let's see. Some people not responsible enough to drive a vehicle. Some people not responsible enough to be alive, yet alone have a vehicle. Yeah, it went down for about 12 hours last night. Hey, Jetty Star, how are you? Good to see you. All right, good night. Yeah, but hey, it's a public holiday for you all tomorrow, right? Yes, I hope they catch him quickly too. It's a public holiday for Americans tomorrow, right? It's Martin Luther King Day, King Jr. Day. So you guys get the day off, is that right? You guys don't have to work. Is it a federal holiday? Let's see. Is it a federal holiday? So it's a bank and school holiday, and businesses may choose to close or reduce their hours. So it's also the inauguration tomorrow for Mr. Donald J. Trump. But yeah, so apparently there is a lot of things closed tomorrow too. Let's see. They say government offices will be closed Monday, Jan 20 in observance of Martin Luther King Jr. Day. The federal holiday is designated as a national day of service to encourage all Americans to volunteer and improve their communities, according to the National Museum of African American History and Culture. They say President Ronald Reagan signed the King Holiday Bill into law November 2nd, 1983, thus designating the third Monday in January a federal holiday in observance of civil rights leader Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., according to the museum. The U.S. Postal Service banks and stock markets will also be closed January 20. However, most restaurants, grocery stores, and retail stores will remain open. So after this one, tomorrow, when is your next one? George Washington's birthday / President's Day, a few days after Valentine's Day, a couple of days after Valentine's Day. So Valentine's Day is a long weekend for George Washington's birthday. And then Memorial Day, May 26th. So love Memorial Day. Don't know why, but love Memorial Day. It's my favorite American holiday. Oh, I know. I know. Jojo said, yes, everyone I know is working tomorrow. Kids Therapy Center is open. Interesting. They did say it was like you could choose to open or not. Yes, there's no holidays. Yeah, construction guys tend to go to work every day. American Girl, yeah. Oh, how cute. I heard they have very nice dolls for little girls. MLK Day plus Inauguration Day. Well, have fun on Inauguration Day. You can have a new president. You can party like it's the 1970s if you want. Have fun, drink beer, and hopefully everything goes smoothly. I don't want to be back on here tomorrow with some sort of big breaking news during an inauguration. Let's have a chill day for once. Let's have everyone just understand and be accepting. No fighting. No more trying to stab people for political things. Just no shootings. Just everyone chill and just enjoy the day. Kathy says, I would love to see them. I don't know what you'd love to see, but okay. I will. I'm still a little, 50-50. Hopefully by tomorrow I'll be feeling a lot better. Hopefully. All right. I'm going to get out of here. And give me 1 second. Just like to check this before we go. If it'll load. Okay. All right. All right. I will see you tomorrow for the inauguration and public holiday and fun things like that. I will see you then. Oh, April's dolls. Okay. Yeah, I hope I feel better by tomorrow too. Get some more sleep tonight. I'll be all right. April B says, good night, everyone. Good night. Good night. Love you all. Hey, if you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, well, why haven't you? The little button below this video, all you have to do is click it. And then you have to just click the bell and say all, and you'll get notifications when I go live. That'd be fun for all of you, right? Hey, it doesn't cost anything. That button doesn't charge your credit card with anything, but it helps me out a lot. So if you haven't done it yet, please do so. It would help Ping out a lot. I will see you tomorrow, okay? Love you all. I will try and get more updates on these 3 or 4 stories we did tonight and get you some updates for tomorrow night. I will. I will. I'm going to try eat something. I haven't eaten anything in like 2 days. So I'm going to try eat food tonight. All right. Peace out. Good night. Bye-bye. Be safe out there tomorrow. Stay away from large gatherings. Bye.